Hey everyone. So this is going to be the look that I'm going to show you today. It was pretty impromptu. I really had no idea what I was going to do, and this is what I ended up with. So before we get started, I just wanted to tell you a couple of the things that I don't mention in the video that I'm not going to do on camera, which is basically just all my skin. So as always, I used my Benefit Professional Primer to begin with. I also used my trusty Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation in the shade Y225. For my highlight and contour, the cream version, I use the Anastasia Cream Contour Kit in Light. For my under eyes, I used this shade up here, which is called Fair. For my contour, I used this shade here, which is called Java. For my setting powder, I used my Benefit Professional Agent Zero Shine. For my powder contour and my blush, I used the Benefit Real Cheeky Party palette. And I used Hoola bronzer right here to add on top of my cream contour, and I used Coralista blush right here all over my cheeks. And then for my highlight, I used the new Anastasia Glow Kit in the shade Sunburst right up here. So now that we have all that out of the way, we can get started. My eyelids are already primed. I used the Benefit Air Patrol eye primer on my top and my bottom lid, so I'm going to move on to my first shadow. The first color that I'm going to be using is from Makeup Geek, and it's this one here. It's called Chickadee, so it's a really light yellow tone orange. And I'm going to be taking that on a Smith 235 brush all into the crease, mostly with the concentration being on the outer corner. Next, I'm going to be using this shade here, which is called Flaming Kisses from the Makeup Addiction Flaming Love palette. And I'm going to be using a Smith 230 brush to apply that. Now I'm going to be taking a darker plum color. This one is from Star Crush Minerals, and it's called Taboo. And I'm going to be using a NARS number 14 brush to apply this. Alright, so we finished everything in the crease, so now I'm going to move on to my lid colors. And the first color that I'm going to be using is called Mai Tai. It's one of the duochrome shadows from Makeup Geek. And then I'm going to be using a Sigma Medium Sweeper E54 brush to apply this all over. My next shadow is going to be another one from Makeup Geek, and it's one of their duochromes again. This one is called I'm Peachless, and it's just a white with a peach gold duochrome. And I'm going to be using a Crown V's Favorite Brushes Firm Shadow Brush, and I'm going to be using this wet with some Benefit Ultra Radiance facial rehydrating mist. So I'm just going to spray a little tiny bit of this onto my brush and then pack this I'm Peachless shadow onto my inner corner. Alright, so now that the top lid is done, I'm going to quickly just do the bottom lid. I'm going to be doing the same sequence of shadows that I put in my crease, just all along the bottom. And then I'll probably take a little bit more of this I'm Peachless eyeshadow and blend it over to just kind of meld into the bottom colors. Okay, on to the next step. So I've already done what I'm going to be doing next on this side. I didn't really have any kind of a plan. I just know that for quite a while I've been really wanting to use this Suva Beauty Hydra liner in the shade Sea Nymph. It's just this really beautiful dark teal blue color. Um, so basically I thought I was going to do a wing liner with it, but because of like my own personal preferences with wing liner and because I like the shape of my eyeshadow right now, I decided I didn't want to do anything classic, so this is kind of just what happened. I started just blobbing it on and dragging my brush out, and I got some imperfect, just kind of weird lines going on there. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Again, the products that I'm using the Suva Beauty Hydra Liner in the shade Sea Nymph. And then I'm also using to hydrate this product because it is dry in its regular state. You need to use some type of a mixing medium in order to activate it to work. And the mixing medium I opted for is the Cinema Secrets Eyeliner Sealer. Absolutely my favorite mixing medium to use. And then the brush I'm going to be using to apply is another one of my favorite brushes, especially for liner, which is the Sigma Wing Liner E06 brush. So I will just start that now. So now I'm just kind of playing around with my liner a little bit, and on this side I added a couple more just kind of like scattered like little splatters in here and then some extra kind of lines coming out. So I'm just going to continue to do the same thing on the other side. Alright, so now that I've finished that just kind of sloppy, crazy liner underneath, and since this look ended up getting a lot crazier than I thought it was going to, I'm just going to go over the top with it. So next I'm going to add a shadow up into my eyebrow in the front here, and I'm going to be using MAC's Goldenrod eyeshadow, one of my favorite yellows. So I'm just going to take that on just the same Smith 235 brush that I've been using to blend out that Chickadee shadow all on the edges. I'm going to use that brush with my goldenrod. All right, so I just finished my eyes. I'll update you on a couple of the things that I did off camera. So I added some lashes on the top. These are the new Violet Voss lashes in Just Slayin. And my bottom lashes are the NYX Color Mascara in Perfect Pear, which is definitely one of my favorites. And I also used the Smashbox Lash Primer before I used this so that it would make my lashes look a little bit thicker so that the green could show up better on the bottom lashes. Highly recommend these color mascaras from NYX. They work really well. And then in my waterline, I used Colourpop Cream Gel Liner in the shade Puppy. And then now, oh, and I also did my brows. My brows are the same as what I did in my last video, so I just used the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in black mixed with eyeshadows from the Sugarpill Edward Scissorhands palette. I used the shade Home Sweet Home, and then I also mixed that with Makeup Geek Shadow in Wisteria. There we go. So now, now that I finished my eyes, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Now that I finished my eyes, I'm going to move on to my lips. That's the last thing that I have to do. And I decided I wanted to go for kind of a brighter peach color. So I'm going to be using the Colourpop lip pencil in the shade Cake. And then I'm going to be topping that with the LA Girl Flat Finish Pigment Gloss in the shade Fantasy. Okay, so that is going to conclude my look for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope that you found it interesting in some way, even though I know that it's a little crazy and probably a lot of you are not going to want to recreate it, but that's okay. So anyway, I hope you guys found this interesting. Please continue to let me know the things that you want me to do in the future. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.